and we're going to start by saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So welcome. We are short 2 members, which saddens me because I did check with everybody in advance to see if the date was good. And some of the things that I'm going to be saying on behalf of the selectmen, it's very important that the full board here. So if for some reason they show up a little late, I may review a couple of the key points. Otherwise, I'll plan on reaching out to them directly. So first of all, the board thanks you for your willingness to serve on this committee. It's something that dissolved kind of around the COVID time. We had people that really weren't interested in stepping back up. We've had, like I said, 5 people that were interested, so the selection thought it was a good time to kind of pull you back together. Hopefully by now you've introduced each other. Everybody knows me. I'm Town Administrator Jennifer, Dan, Lori, and Carol. You guys all got to know each other?
Yep.
Okay. So the 2 people we're missing are Lauren and Jenny. So one of the things that I want to start by doing is just kind of, if you don't know a little bit of the history of rec or know kind of how these boards work in regards to who's who, that's really one of the first things that we wanted to point on, because unfortunately I was reading some information online that wasn't completely accurate. Anytime we have a board like this, all of you are equals on the board, okay? Even when we get to the point where we will eventually elect a chair, the purpose of a chair in any committee is to run the meeting. They're supposed to be the immediate point of contact, and they're really running the meeting. That's one of the only purposes of a chair. It gives you no more right, no more authority than anybody else. You still can't make decisions on your own. It's just somebody that keeps the meeting controlled and running and sets the agenda. So what we're hoping that we can do is, we're meeting so early, well, we're meeting this quickly, I should say, so that we can really talk about the Christmas lighting. That's going to be our primary focus tonight. I'm hoping that once I get you guys started, you guys are going to have a roundtable discussion and kind of decide which direction you want to go in. I want to see you work together on Christmas tree lighting, see what we can come up with, have a meeting or 2, and then decide who might be in the best position to be the chair. It's not something that we would just elect coming into a room of strangers, because you don't know, who's going to be able to take that on. There's often a vice chair on these committees. There doesn't have to be. The only purpose of the vice chair is to run the meeting in someone's absence. Okay? One of the things that we did put into place, which is an important factor with these committees, is that the chair is the contact with the town. So if you decide that you want to use the town hall on such and such date, or you decide that you need to go out to bid for something, we ask that the chair does all the communication with the town so that I'm not dealing with 4 or 5 different people from the committee. But that chair's rights to communicate is still only after you guys have made a decision as a group. So, you have to decide that you want this event on this date before the chair can come to me. You guys have to decide you want to buy this before the chair can come to me. I want to make sure that it's clear that that chair still doesn't have any authority over anybody else. And I stress that because that seems to be one of the areas that the committee tends to kind of struggle with a little bit, is understanding that you're all equal, and and everything that comes up in conversation, you need to talk about at a round table, and you need to vote on it. Just because somebody's the chair doesn't mean the way they want to do the tree lighting is going to be the way that it works. He's got an idea, I have an idea, we batted it around for a half hour, let's take a vote. And one of the key parts of being on a committee is remembering that there's no I in team. And even if my way didn't work, then we're going to go with Dan's way, because that's what the committee voted, then I need to be on board and I need to support whatever the majority of the committee did. Maybe next time you guys will think my idea is better. But that's what I've seen in the years with my experience with this particular committee, is that it just we seem to struggle away from who can do what. So I think that's important to do. In the past, some rec committees have put a treasurer in place. You don't have to do this. They put a secretary in place. You don't have to do that. If you want to delegate somebody to take minutes, it's great for record-keeping purposes. It can be a volunteer. You can alternate. The treasurer is an important role because you need to keep track of what you're spending. But again, only the chair is gonna be able to go to our treasurer and, you know, and request monies or request receipts, because we try to keep it the same person so it's an even flow. So does that kind of make sense, kind of where, who's what? So that's why I think it's important to have a few meetings together and spend some time with each other to decide who's gonna be best in that role, because without knowing one another, it's kind of hard for you to do that. So as I said, the primary purpose of getting together now is wondering if you have time to pull together a tree lighting in the middle of a pandemic. You know, the Mary Grant Committee just pulled together a pumpkin carving that they've done year after year, and this year they had to get together and be creative. They did a drive-through pumpkin carving, which Virginia can tell you was very successful. They just had to be creative and think outside the box, and that's kind of what we need to do with the tree lighting. People are asking, my phone is ringing off the hook, is there going to be a tree lighting? Is there going to be a tree lighting? Is Santa going to be there? I haven't spoken to Santa. I don't know what he's comfortable with. We have governor mandates that we can't override whether we agree with them or not. So Santa will have a mask on if we're lucky enough to get him. You know,
Can Santa be close to the kids, or?
I would say no. I would say Santa has to be 6 feet away. So the only way you're going to be able to pull something off is to do some sort of drive-through, drive-by event. Because Santa has to be 6 feet away, and unless we can get permission from the board, they're not allowing use of any of the buildings. So we're hoping for good weather and somehow, you know, somehow a drive-through parade. And I know they've, the Chapley Elementary School for Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving, for Halloween, they did the drop-off like Mary Grant did. They had everybody carve them, and then they lined them all up at the Chapley School, and they've got that nice cul-de-sac. And then, you know, kids drove through, and as they drove through, the members threw candy into the car. I mean, you're gonna have to come up with something, you know, some sort of idea to get them in and out in a safe manner, but 6 feet apart and with masks, so.
Can you drive around and down that way? Is that,
There, I mean, there's quite a hill there.
Right.
There's quite a hill there. You may be better off, I mean, you can definitely go up it, but,
or up and then down, out this way?
yeah, I mean, we've seen snow and you know, on Thanksgiving before, so I guess you would need to take that into consideration. And I'm gonna step out before you guys start having all those discussions. I don't need to be part of that. I want you guys to put that together and just give me some ideas. You know, I don't know if there's enough room to do a circle somewhere else. I mean, with enough cones. You know, you've got the fire station, well, I can't walk the fire station because of the
Emergencies.
ambulance, but maybe the school cul-de-sac, if they'd let you, you know, borrow that. But we still want to light this tree, so it's really just throwing ideas out there, but you guys will learn about that. A couple of other things I wanted to make sure you got, first of all, is the town of Acton's purchasing policy. It's very important that this be adhered. We are audited, every single department, and every department has to follow it to a T. A couple of the big things that will matter most to committees like yours is that we do not reimburse sales tax. We cannot legally reimburse sales tax. So we have master tax ID numbers that we, you know, forms that you can take into the store and, you know, show to them, and you'll be tax exempt. If you decide to buy something out of your pocket and get reimbursed, we will not reimburse sales tax. So that's a decision that you make. There's really, as far as the competitive bidding and going out to bid, for this event anyways, there's certainly not going to be anything to that financial magnitude that you have to worry about. I know that you guys have an ice rink, and you know, there are some things that we'd have to do competitive bidding for, but it's going to be rare, so we don't need to really get into that. There are some emergency purchases. If it is an emergency, you can reach out to me, but you know, more candy the day before is not an emergency. So read through this, something you can take with you.
Yay.
More importantly, you have the Acton Rec Department budget. And this is kind of, this is your ticket as we go into the rest of the 6 months. So if you're not already aware, town runs on a fiscal year from July to June. So this money, this lasts you through June 30th of 2021. All the money that comes from the various departments has to be approved at town meeting. So these numbers are not negotiable at this point. They're in the middle of a town meeting, in the middle of a year or so. last year, or when we did the secret ballot in July, was $23,372. The rec did budget for $3,000 for revenue, meaning they expected to have $3,000 come in from their soccer and basketball to help offset it. We have subtracted that off of the money you have to spend, because at this point, we're not having sports and we're probably not gonna see any revenue. So to be safe, we've taken that off. You have had $119 in change come in since the beginning of fiscal year. That could have been the miscellaneous receipts that we got late, but that's the money that's come in. So the balance available that you have is $20,491.79. However, you are in a contract with Seacoast Property Maintenance for $26.50. They maintain the field over there. So net available to spend is $17.8. Okay? Special improvement appropriation, it looks like, I think there was a separate warrant article for $2,000 for the parking lot to be done. We'll look at that in the spring. At this point, it's not gonna be done for winter, so, and with no baseball, it's gonna be on priority. So $17,841 is what you have to spend. That's obviously a good size, a good amount of money. Some tips from the years of municipal experience. You're 4 months into, you haven't done any, the rec hasn't done anything because of over the last 4 months. Don't try to spend all this before the end of the year. I mean, we need to show good restraints to the taxpayers that, we're expecting that, you can explain it at town meeting or a Warren Finance meeting of why we're asking for $23,000 again next year if we only spent 18. Well, we had COVID for 4 months and we were respectful, and don't try to spend it down just to spend it. I mean, let's make good choices on the amount of time we have left, and any extra money gets rolled over, so that's only benefit.
So do we go by, at this point, what the previous board agreed on in January or December 4th?
Yes, and I mean, no, you don't have to, because at this point, what we have to go by is what the voters in the town of Acton have approved. That number can't change. And what Lori is referring to is that we did sit down and do an estimated budget for baseball, soccer, tree lighting. Well, tree lighting wasn't one. This is the first time the rec is doing the tree lighting. It was previously done by an individual. Soccer, you had cheerleading. They had an estimation. That's where they got that $23,000 based on those items. I mean, it's gonna be close, but no, we can't tie into the committee to a previous year's budget. And the purpose really of a budget is, short of salaries, which you don't have in this case, it's just an estimate. So, I mean, that's definitely flexible. Nothing, you don't wanna keep hearing, well, the way it always been, or the way it used to be. So the brand new committee, you have new people, you have new fresh ideas, anything goes, as long as we're approving policy and within money constraints.
Awesome.
Okay, so that's that. We have, the insurance company requires that we fill out a volunteer form. This is for liability purposes. So if you were getting ready to do basketball, for example, we would need to have one for every coach, every referee, anybody that's involved with the rec, we have to have one of these on file for us. And this will include you guys. So there's a stack of those, are always available at the town hall. The other thing that we're required to do is a faithful performance of duty. Anybody that's going to handle money has to be bonded. Now, the selectmen changed the policy, let's say about maybe a year ago in regards to registrations. So it used to be when we were getting ready to do registrations, we could send them out, and you can still send them out through the school, but they used to be able to send them back any which way. They'd see Lori at the grocery store, they'd hand it to her, they'd give it to the bus driver, and the bus driver gave it to the parent. We had a really hard time with checks and balances, so the selectmen changed the policy that if they want to sign somebody up for a sport, they do it at the window for the tax collector. And I'm responsible for all the funds that go through there. It covers you guys, it covers the bus driver, it covers Lori's board shopping list. We just, we have 300 kids playing a sport, 225 payments. But just because life is busy and everybody's aware, there was no accusation of anything, but it's a small town, and if you're gonna play sports, then obviously you can come to the town hall and sign up. So all money goes through that way. There might still be a chance that you would handle money with concessions. Right now, that's obviously not something we're probably gonna do. Fundraisers, if it's just reimbursements, then you don't need to fill this out. So some of this might not pertain immediately. But if you decide, once you start talking about, the tree lighting and you come up with an ideas, you might say, you know what, we need $200 to get started, we need $300 to get started for all these different items. That person would have to be bonded, we would cut you a check, you take that money, you cash the check, you bring us back a detailed receipt. It's simple, we're, the selectmen are very, very appreciative of the committee and everything you do, and we'll do everything we can to support you, but at the same time, we gotta make sure that our, everything on our end, from the auditor's point, is can be answered.
So if we were already bonded, do we have to be bonded every
We
year?
have to be bonded once a year.
Okay, and
As do we.
now you said you would cut us a check if we decided for X amount of dollars. That's something new.
Well, no, it depends, I mean, if you have a list of things that are going, if you decide these are tree lighting, I mean, we've never made them pay it out of pocket. If they're tree lighting expenses, and you have a list, then we will do that.
Okay.
It's similar to a petty cash. If you decide you want to order things on Amazon, or you decide you want to order things on Staples, the town has accounts for those, and you would give us a direct list with item numbers, and I would order it from the town's website, the town's accounts, and we would charge it to your account. So, the paperwork piece can really be, handled, and we can kind of work through it as we go. The most important thing is really, making sure that we're bonded, making sure that we don't go over budget, which obviously at this point we're nowhere close, and we're adhering to the purchasing policy. But based on past practice, and it doesn't have to be this case, but based on past practice, the tree lighting has been the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Right,
Which would be
2 weeks.
15 days from now. And it doesn't, don't feel like it has to be this elaborate, event. I mean, any efforts that we're putting to get, kids and families outside of the house to do something is going to be something. You can, if you're not gonna be able to spend your money on, in the past, we've done crafts, and they've decorated cookies, and I mean, the room is full, person to person, doing all these little events in here, maybe you do, you come up with, boy gifts and girl gifts, maybe everybody gets a gift this year, to, instead of spending the money on all of the other stuff that we're not gonna be able to do. You have some
Be
awesome
sweet,
stuff.
yeah, Santa hand out a gift instead of sitting and taking a picture and
Yeah, because it's
not doing the ornaments.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to have anybody inside, so it's really thinking outside altogether. But that's, again, those are gonna be conversations you guys are gonna have, and, kind of sort through it.
Have you talked to the fire department? Are they willing to help again this year, do you know?
I'm not.
Okay.
Nope, I'm not, I like to stay within mine. I'm not here to plan your event or.
Well, right, I just didn't know if,
I'm here
because,
to get you started and do the paperwork piece of it.
You said that somebody else took
No.
care of the tree lighting. Does the town have like lights and stuff for the tree already, or we're gonna have to start new with all that stuff?
That's a good question. Most of the stuff that the previous person used was her own.
Jenny
Okay.
said we can have the lights.
Yeah,
The
so,
cord is hers.
You can reach out to her, or we can purchase. We do have a closet at so the fitness center, the old fitness center over here, there's a red closet in there that may have some Christmas stuff. But remember, and just because it was done last time doesn't mean you have to do it this time. So, but there's a tree, there's a hole in the ground, a stake, a tree over there. But depending on where you do it, I mean, to me, the school seems like a nice spot because it's a cul-de-sac and they can drive through. But you've got this tree, somehow you gotta get lit because that's part of the, tree lighting. They could always get their gift and then go drive up and see it. I don't know, that's up to you guys to find out.
What did the fire department, what was their role in the tree
The
lighting?
fire department would drive over Santa. They would drive
Oh,
over
gotcha,
and
okay.
sleigh and I'm certain that the chief would make that work. So we need to reach out to Santa to see if he's available and how he's feeling with the COVID.
So you have somebody who was Santa every year?
Yeah, he's played Santa, he's enjoyed it. His name is Jim Batchelder. He is the person that oversees the Southern Maine Vet Cemetery on Back Road in Springvale. Amazing man, he gives a lot to the town every year in both aspects. I think he's been our Santa, Virginia, for
Oh, quite a few years.
quite a few years now.
Yes.
And this white dress
lots
up
of those
was
non
really
but I would
nice.
certainly start with Jim just because I really think he enjoys it.
I've got his name and his number and stuff.
Yes. Oh, and sometimes his wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it does Mrs. Claus? Nice, okay.
This doesn't say anything about the purchase and, unless I'm not seeing it, time-wise,
In regards to,
when we request a check or when we request,
so checks are cut once a week in the town of Acton. They are available normally on Thursdays, holiday, it may be Friday, but normally you can pick them up any Thursday evening. The check request has to be in my hands or Michelle's hands by noon time on Monday. Because the selectmen have to sign the warrants at a public meeting each week before we can release funds.
and that includes also for Amazon orders and just any type of orders, no?
No, I've got wiggle room there because if I have an account with them, then no, that's different. Anywhere, Amazon, Staples, those types of places, some debit card purchases, if we have accounts through them, then no, we have a debit card policy that allows me as the town administrator to order up to $500 without selecting approval, assuming I have approval through the treasurer that you have money in the account. So as long as you don't go over 500, if you go over 500, then you have to take it before a selectmen's meeting to get pre-approval.
But you need a certain amount of time in order to,
Well, it'd be nice if you gave me, 24, 48 hours if you need something ordered. I feel like I've always been reasonable when I get my midnight text that you need something. Saying. Do my best not to turn the committee down, but. So, I think that if you can, and you guys can decide when you need to meet again. That may be one of the first things we want to do because based on town policy, there is now a 10-day notice for meetings. However, I think the executive decision based on 15 days left of the event. I can post another meeting tonight before I leave here, and this considers to be day one. So really try to, we can try to set another one in. So by the end, you guys are going to kind of come up with some ideas. You're going to divvy up, okay, Dan's going to call A, B, and C, Carol's going to call B, E, and F, and then you're going to bring those ideas back. You're going to come back and discuss it. You can't make decisions over the phone. You can't make decisions via email. You can't make decisions via Facebook. This is a meeting that's open to the public. So you've got to get in the habit of scheduling meetings in advance so everything's done here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's just say that maybe you wanted to meet the night, 19th.
do we have, is there anything in the town that's going on any other times that we cannot do a different Saturday? Like a Saturday in
the
September, in December instead? That weekend is really pressing for me, and I know a lot of people have said that they don't necessarily, a lot of people are out of town for holidays and stuff like that. Yeah,
No, so the selectmen are not renting out the town hall.
but nothing outside or anything that we could go, pretty much anything in December?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you guys decided as a group that it's, let's enjoy Thanksgiving and appreciate that holiday, because some people do feel like, they're wrapping Christmas presents in October. Maybe you decide that December 5th is a better day, the first Saturday in December. That's fine, you guys can make that decision, but it needs to be a group decision. And I will tell you, this is something I will tell the other two, that, we're not able to make it here. That whatever, you have a quorum tonight, and whatever decision you make tonight will stand, and the next two, so now you can change the date if that works for you guys.
Jenny used to use, well, she's busy, I'm just gonna mention, she used the church also. Last year, we used the church in order to do some food and stuff, and Santa got set up inside. It was really nice, 'cause they had a tree already inside. We took pictures, and it was typically, I think this think the weekend after Thanksgiving a lot because of the church wasn't available a couple of other times also. So I think with it being different, we could definitely have more playroom to do a different day, if that makes sense.
What do you think, Dan, a different day?
I think a different day would be much better, and I think, like you said, it's so close to the holiday, especially with people trying to figure out what's going on with COVID and everything, and I think that having the tree lighting is a good idea. I think doing as best as we could, which I think, like the 5th or even, I'd say even the 12th, but
I wouldn't go too far before Christmas, but that's a good deal. What do you think, Carol, about a different day?
Sounds fine to me.
And that's one of the things when you decide, who's gonna be the chair, that's one of the things that you wanna make sure that, especially in COVID, because as I watch Lori talk to Carol, she's not intentionally, I mean,
Yeah,
there's so much space between us, she's not intentionally not speaking, so the best thing you can do when you're having these meetings is to go around and make sure that everybody's had a chance to say something, because with the mask and the plexiglass, you have to kind of turn, but, I don't want Dan feeling like, so it's hard to kind of look and give everybody the same amount of attention with all this space, so when you start to discuss something, just kind of go around the room and get everybody's opinion, so that we can all feel like, we're making the same decision, so. I would like to see at least pick a date before I step out, and the reason for that is that my sign guy, that's going to put a sign on 109, it still says elections, so I've asked him to come tomorrow morning and change it. So what I'd like to put up there is, tree lighting, more information coming soon, something we can post on the website, or, more information coming soon. At least, pencil in December 5th, or whatever date and time you guys decide. So at least we can put it up there and start advertising it, because December is busy, and sometimes with split families and stuff, every weekend in December can be booked.
What time is it usually?
Well, before the time change, let's see, so it's 5:30 now. In the past, because they were able to be inside, they'd spend, it might start at 2 o'clock, because they could spend 2 to 4 baking cookies and decorating and doing things.
Doing the crafts.
If you can't do those things now, then, it depends on we're gonna do it, it depends on what you decide to do.
Okay.
Whatever time you feel like. The tree can't be lit until it's officially dark, right? But is it better to have Santa outside while it's light?
Yeah.
I don't know, that's where you guys step in. Any other questions from the town point before I let you, just kind of, and Dan, if you want, it may be, I don't know if it'd be easier, you're welcome to come over and give you some lights on, you can sit here, that way you can at least have maybe easier to have a one-on-one conversation.
no, I think it's fine here.
You're good, so I'm gonna step out, so.
I have 2 questions. Can you just point on how many we need to have for a quorum for a meeting?
So assuming there are 5 members, and I will tell you that, I believe that I have 2 that are not sworn in, but Dan's gonna get sworn in here before I leave, so, 5 is a 5-member board, and has to have 3 for a quorum, so.
And then and in the past, it was if you missed 3 meetings, and it was never said whether it was 3 in a row or 3 in the year.
Yeah, so, there are no bylaws, there are no active bylaws,
Okay.
For the rec committee. Generally, that's something that you see in bylaws. There actually is there's a policy about, there's a reappointment committee. Hold up, it says something about the 3 committee members, or the 3 meetings. If you have a member that doesn't attend more than 1 or 2 in a row, then don't speak about it in a public meeting. Obviously, everything is filmed. Whoever the chair is, just come to me and bring it to my attention. I will speak to the person individually, we'll see what's going on. And, the board will replace the member if they're just not going to attend. We're still looking for a couple members, so we'll take a few minutes of free press to say, hey, anybody that wants to be on the rec committee, we're still looking for at least 2 people. We'd like to have an odd number so that there aren't, but definitely if you know anybody else. But for a committee like this, and I'm certainly not taking anything away from the importance of the rec, but when we're talking about the rec versus the planning board, or something that's got to see serious legal votes on it, there's a little more leeway in missing meetings. Okay? But one of the things you gotta take into consideration is if you miss a meeting, you have to accept and respect everything that was done at that meeting. You don't get to come to the next meeting and change everything that we just did. You know, we were here, these are the decisions we made as a quorum. So, and if you run into any of those situations with people, then you come see me, and I'll attempt to handle it on the side.
I don't have any more questions.
Okay. We'll just pause real quick. You feel free to, why don't we just go right around the table? We'll start with Carol this time, we've done Dan last time. What are your thoughts on the whole tree lighting and pandemic and Santa? I mean, what's the first thing that comes to mind, kind of, as we talk about some of that?
Well, I never went to tree lighting, I'm sorry. So, with the COVID, I think a drive-by would be great, you know, as far as if you give out gifts or whatever you do, I'm sure we could figure out a way, but I'm not that familiar on what you did, so I'm hoping to learn.
And remember, it doesn't have to be, I mean, Lori is, you know, and she has a lot to bring to the table, but she is one of a separate amount of boards, so you're really a brand new board.
Right.
So what we did in the past, really, you know,
Right.
I mean, stockings are a good idea, that, you know, what I mean, because that's something that you can, instead of trying to get age appropriate, you know, you may be able to do stockings, you know, boys, girls, you know, 0 to 5 or 5 to 10, you know, that might be easier.
And how many, people come through it usually? Is there,
Well, that, I mean, that's the toughest part, because when we could all get in a room and decorated cookies and made ornaments and all that, I mean, I bet they saw 50 to 75 kids easily. And they have a good amount of kids. There's no restriction, they have to be from Acton. It's free, so it does tend to draw, you know, neighboring towns. Especially during these pandemic times, we're all, you know, my days are over, but everyone's looking for something to do with their little kids to get them out. When you did pumpkin carving, you had what, about 25?
We had about 30.
30?
Yeah, 30, yeah.
So,
And there were more than that last year.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only time I've ever gone, but last
yeah.
year there was
But,
probably
I mean,
close to.
but for a COVID drive-through, I mean, that's a lot, you know, they
That's a lot.
had to drive through,
We
get
gave
the.
the bags of candy, and then they went around to get their pumpkins, you know.
Nice.
We did the best we could.
Yeah, but they were all thankful and appreciative.
Oh, yeah,
And anything that you guys will do will be, you know, so don't feel like it's gotta be this.
They were very
Elaborate.
We're in a pandemic
We're in-
time,
right.
anything we can do to get kids out, especially where there's no sports, no rec. So I mean, I feel like, I always say these things on camera and then, I mean, I feel like if you plan for 50, you know, the thing is that if you thought you might get 50-ish and you plan for 75, those extra 25 from December 5th, if that's the date you go with through Christmas, you know, you leave them here, I hand them out at counters, we've got the neighbors helping neighbors baskets, we'll put them in there, and I assure you, the stuff won't go to waste. I will find ways to get them to town. The Toys for Tots still delivers, so whatever number you think you might get, maybe you do some surveys. You know, maybe you get a rough idea of some surveys. Go higher and we'll take care of the extra. Because we certainly don't want to disappoint.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you think, Dan?
Well, I think it's difficult with COVID and stuff, but I think, you're talking about arts and crafts, but I think it'd be kind of really cool, whether it's this year or in the future, is to kind of get families involved to do something at home beforehand and see if, hey, maybe as a family, you guys make an ornament, and when you come by, you stop by the tree, and we put your ornament on the town tree, so it's like a representation of everyone's family, so the children can see, hey, I made that, and it's on the tree, and it's kind of really cool to see that. I remember, you know, it's a big deal to put an art project up on the refrigerator. Imagine having a fun, creative art project up on the town tree in the middle of town, whether it's the school or the town hall. I think that'd be a way to get, you know, families more involved, and I think it might make children more excited to go see it, because they get to see, you know, them put it up on the tree. Also, if we do get Santa, being COVID, it's kind of, I don't know if we'd be able to have someone, as cars line up, maybe someone go and ask the parents quickly, something like, hey, what's your kid's name? If Santa's outside, he can say, like, hey, Merry Christmas, and say the kids' names. Something, again, to be more engaging, kind of make it more of a personal experience for children. But that's all I can think about right now, when we have in a short
Something I
time.
thought of, and we'll jump to Lori real quick, something I thought of, and I don't know, I mean, we do have a policy that can pay for mileage, I would have to check into the whole insurance thing, but, I mean, we have, what, 50 square miles, I mean, what if, for the sake of it, we took names, or you had to sign up in advance, you know, you had to sign up in advance, and then maybe you had certain locations that, you know, Santa was gonna be at, you know, so everybody that lives from Sanborn Road to Milton Mills Road, you know, Santa, you know, you have to sign up in advance, you've got the list of kids, Santa's gonna be there, you know, the fire department, they drive them over, and then maybe you get another 4 or 5 streets and you do at the rec, or town hall parking lot, you know what I mean? Maybe we get Santa to do some travel. You know, I mean, the lighting of the tree could just be you guys decorating the tree and turning it on that day. I love the idea of those ornaments. But maybe there's a way to get Santa out and about in community stuff.
That's what I was thinking, possibly like a parade of some sort instead of doing what they used to do here. That's the only thing I could think of, was some kind of drive-by or parade.
I like the parade's a good idea. Couldn't, you know, and for what you give the kids, I mean, between teddy bears and chocolates, you know, maybe it's $10 Walmart gift cards or something. You know, maybe it's something, you know, I mean, it could be,
Yeah.
you know, something like that, or.
And in the past, I know that the person that did it, she did it in a very small budget, but now that it's like a town thing, we almost have a little bit more, you know, leeway. Like, she used to do an ornament, and the kids came in this area and did ornaments, and someone donated cookies, and they decorated cookies. So those were the two things that we're doing here, and then a potluck or food and different stuff like that. But we have much...
You have funds this year, right?
Yeah, much more funds that we can use, that we could do a little bit more for the kids, especially with it being,
You just gotta remember that whatever you know, possibly spend, let's just say you spend $500 in the whole event, and I'm sure it will be a success, unless we cut the budget next year, it's gonna be an increase, assuming we get back to all our reports. So just remember, you know what I mean? And the town of Acton is very good to most all of the departments, and rec is certainly one of them. So if there's a minor increase, you know, and you can explain it, and it's for the kids, it's usually fine at town meeting. If it's something that
I have a question. I know that I saw on Facebook, and I'm not sure if there's a tree lighting competition that's going on. Do we know if that's something for the town, it's done by an individual?
So there's an individual, and she actually reached out to me today to ask me about the tree lighting. I told her it was good timing because you guys were meeting. She does, Terry Minahan does the scarecrow competition. I wasn't aware that she was doing a tree lighting, but certainly.
I saw that on.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, reach out with her, that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
And she's-
That's the thing, maybe
she's-
Santa can,
Because I was thinking maybe talk to her and see if, depending what day you pick the tree lighting, maybe have the tree lighting first, they can do the judging, but then have like a little map of all the houses that are lit up, so it can make it like a trip for families. Say, come to the tree lighting if you want to see more lights. Here's some more tree displays, so it's a little road, so you're not just coming to this, so we can just do the Santa, put the thing on, but then they can, you know, drive the kids and say, oh, these are the locations that did the competition, drive by and see what they're like.
people love to see the lights, and
Yeah.
the kids do.
That way, because if you're already out, you might as well go, so you saw the lights in the tree, you're going to see lights, so I'd like to talk to
Yeah, you map
her
out, you've got town maps, so you can
Yeah.
find out in advance.
and hand them out as they come by in the car and say, oh, Merry Christmas, here's if you want to see more lights, something like that.
You have a map, and maybe there's something, you know, maybe you could put things at certain stops along the way.
Yeah, I like that.
The fairgrounds, they could stop and get something, the fire station, you know,
Mm-hmm.
see who wants to participate.
And Terry has generally in the past helped, so I'm sure she probably would be interested.
I think it'd be a great way to combine two separate things and make it kind of like a bigger,
Especially in 2 weeks.
yeah.
So on that note, so I guess, are you comfortable committing to December 5th?
I'm comfortable with the
Okay.
5th, I don't
And you
know, but,
if you want to, send me an email or give me a time, you don't need to give me a time now, you're welcome to speak to Terry, but,
You know
or,
what?
you know, we could just put December 5th, more information coming.
Yeah, I think
not
that's
put a
fine.
time.
Do you know when she's actually doing the judging for that?
I can talk to her because my family I'm one of the judges for that, actually. I didn't know who it was, my sister told me I signed up for it, so.
So why don't I just put on the sign, tree lighting, townwide tree lighting event, details coming soon.
Yeah.
December 5th. Just so we can put something out there so they know what day it is. And then as we decide, then we can go ahead and change the sign as we move forward. So the only other thing I would need is, do you want to agree on another night to meet so that I can get that legally posted?
I can can usually do any time 5 or after, any night usually works for me.
I can't do Wednesday nights.
No
Do you wanna do
Wednesday.
next Friday? Does Friday work for you guys?
I can't, next week is, next weekend is not good for me at
And
all.
remember, you don't all have to be here. I mean, the goal is to get, where you've only got a couple of weeks, you better off to meet, at least throw ideas together.
How does Tuesday, I mean, is that busy?
I wouldn't want to know right now, it's Tuesday, that's 5 days, so I'm gonna be,
Well, I think it'd give us time over the weekend to think about stuff that we talk about, but also quick enough to get over and get the other two people who aren't here in the mix and kind of, especially since it's,
you wanna do it a little later.
I can't do Tuesday either.
Can you do Thursday?
I can,
Or you have selectmen
Wednesday, the
meetings, so we couldn't meet then,
When?
on Thursdays?
Thursday, there's a planning board meeting.
Planning board
We wouldn't be able to meet,
could we meet downstairs now?
you wouldn't be able to meet downstairs, but I might be able, no, it would be filmed, okay. I mean, I feel like if it's just, I feel like I can find room for you. It may not be filmed, but I can find.
But I'm available Wednesday, Thursday, I just have an appointment.
So why don't we do Thursday, location to be determined, if everyone in the public wants to come, it'll be somewhere on town property. Might be at the fire
Thursday.
station, might be at the gym.
and it's the same time at 5? Is that what we're going with?
You wanna do 5:30?
Five?
That's fine.
Yeah, that works for me.
So I will post it for 5:30, worst case is you maybe do something in the back office, 6 feet apart, but we'll.
That's okay.
Ooh, I have a question.
And and just so we're clear.
So that's the 19th?
This gets filmed, we're making these exceptions because the event is 2 weeks away and we're trying to pull it off.
Correct.
So Thursday, the 19th.
Yes, very.
I think that's what they get from me on Friday night being in charge.
How about Saturdays or Sundays would it do?
For meetings?
Weekends can be events too, yeah, I mean, weekends you can meet too, but.
Well, next weekend's my daughter's birthday, so that's the problem. And then Thanksgiving, and I just
Yeah,
got
no, we're gonna do the
family
19th.
coming in
The
and,
19th at 5:30.
Okay.
So here,
Okay, that's-
which is 8 direction.
19th?
19.
Yeah,
December?
Thursday.
Oh, God, yeah, I'm thinking it's, oh God, I'm getting my months mixed up. Okay, yeah, that works.
possibly meet in the
Yeah,
gym
I'll
too,
find
right?
one. All right, maybe the weather will be nice. Maybe somewhere. All right, so 19th at 5:30. So just write down all the list, any questions you come up with for me in the meantime, and, just go in there. Dan, I'm gonna ask you to join me in the hallway so I can legally swear you in as I step out. And then, until we, and again, I think we're gonna not appoint a chair until after the December 5th event, so you can just kind of get a feel for one another and, decide what feels like a good fit. And remember that it's not about organization and who's doing what, it's about making sure that everybody gets equal chance on the committee. And that's one of the most important parts of the chair. All right, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Anything? You know how to find me? Grab my lasagna, and I made it 4, and dinner 8, take it over. All right, meet me up here, and thank you, meet me up here.
Yep, no problem.
Where are you going, real quick?
Just we'll wait for Dan, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so in the past, maybe you can just.
I've only been to the tree lighting 3 times. Last year we helped, and before that, I just came as a spectator. So, I'll just tell you how the Wayman did it in the past, and we can go from there.
Okay.
Last year, we did, ornaments. Oh, yeah,
Cookies.
yeah, you're on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
It's up to you.
I'm just telling her how the stuff was.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's up, doesn't matter to me. You can.
Okay.
So we set up tables and we had 2 sections, of cookies, and kids decorated the cookies. And then,
Making
there was a
ornaments.
section that they did ornaments, and that's what they typically did, was they did ornaments every year. Last year, I made a bunch that were like paper ornaments. Back up so Dan can see us. I was just telling her what they used to, have you ever been to the tree lighting?
No, I've never been to the church.
Okay, so in the past, I've only been to it 3 times, that's what I was just saying, and, last year, the rec helped. So, what they did was, in this room, they did a couple of cookie stations, and then did ornaments, and that's what they typically did, was ornaments, they were wooden ornaments, and there was like sticky things and glue sticks and different things that they
Yeah.
could decorate. And then we also had a second ornament, which was a paper snowman, and they could draw on that and then put their picture in it.
Oh,
It was
nice.
pretty cool.
Okay.
And then they got to take them home. And then there was a potluck in the church. And we had decorated in here with lights and everything. We had lights decorated outside. And then in the church, in the actual room where they do church, there's, I don't know if you've ever been in there.
Yes,
there's
I've been
like
in the church, yeah.
The church area, and then there's like a hall area that
Yeah.
you can eat in and stuff. So we had the potluck in there, and then the Santa and Mrs. Claus were at the tree in the church, and we had a bench there, and they sat with the kids. There was a lady that has, for years, I guess, taken pictures, and then Jenny, the woman that used to do it, her husband used to print the pictures, and you could pick them up at the town hall afterwards.
that's
So it was really
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
So it was simple. Santa was brought over on a trailer from the fire department, and the fire department had that all decorated. And then I think we started at like 5 o'clock last night.
o'clock,
5 o'clock we started, so we did all this stuff, and then once people started coming in, I think we had a set time for like 6:30, and we did the lights. So Santa came, I think, about like 6:15 or something like that, and then everyone came outside and they plugged in the lights, and everyone stood around it, and it was nice. And Terry Minahan is the woman that you're talking about that does the
The scarecrow and
yeah.
doing the tree lighting.
So she came and she had a movie on for the kids in the church, and it was like we all just threw it together, and it really worked out well. There was a movie, the kids were entertained while Santa was,
Didn't she have
Coming
also
in.
like a meal, you know what I mean?
yeah, we had a potluck. So I set up a simple potluck online, and we did a potluck, and
Yeah.
we asked for donations. We got donations from people from the town for paper goods and that type of stuff, hot chocolate. And then everyone, I mean, I think they were out here by like 7:30, and then we cleaned up and we had to take everything down. Kim Stacy, for years, has donated the tree. I have a list of the people, Jenny sent me a list of the people, like, the trees are really big, so you need someone with like a boom truck to put it up. So I have that man's name. He came and he put it up, and he actually put the lights on, I believe,
Oh,
last
because you
year.
had like a bucket that he could do.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah, I
Jenny in
was
the past
wondering
has
about
put the
that.
lights on. See, so it's like you have to put the lights on, then you're responsible for taking the lights down after
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. I don't know, I guess after Christmas is over. I don't know when she did that. But her and her husband ended up doing that, and I don't know who disposed of the tree.
So the tree gets put up before the 5th, the tree you
Well,
put up,
Yeah, it was.
And you'd have the
it was
lights
put
on
up
it.
Like yeah, we had the lights on it, but you just don't plug in the
right,
lights.
or do it that morning or that prior to the event.
Yes, it has to be done prior to the event, so the man did it like, we did it on Saturday, so it was like a Tuesday, I think. He just happened to have some time off, and he came up and he put the stuff up, and the lights were here, so he just happened to put them on for us, which was great,
That
because
is
we
nice.
kind of went in blindsided, because Jenny had always been here in the past, and she had surgery, so she wasn't gonna be here, so, everyone that like did it in the past just like knew their place, and they kind of just did, you know, their thing, and we just kind of overseed it and decorated and cleaned up
Yeah,
and
with the
everything
kids,
afterwards, so, but with us not doing the food and that type of stuff, I mean, we can do anything. We can call the Santa. I mean, I would like to call the same Santa and ask him if he would be available, where he's been doing it for years. I have his name. She just sent me a list of the people that have helped. Hold on. Oh, do we put that online?
We'd have to get the lights early enough so we could make sure they all work.
Yes, that's what I did. I got the lights from Jenny last year, and I went through them all ahead of time in my garage and made sure that they worked, and
Right.
different ones to make, get them to work. We definitely need an extension cord. She said the lights belong to whoever does the tree lighting, because they were bought with donations for the tree lighting, so, she was gonna drop them off at my house, but.
Oh, good. So we can go
I
through
can pick them
those.
up, or one of us can pick them up, or, I think she lives, oh no, you're up on a different road. I think she lives on Winchell Lane, so, she's great to deal with. But other than that, I mean, that's how I think for years, one year I came and there was it Lau?
Yes.
Lau and his group had music playing.
That would be
and,
nice, wouldn't it?
That would
Singing
be-
Christmas
I
carols
was thinking
and,
music would be really nice.
that's,
I think music
like I
would
said,
be-
I've only been to
The only problem with
3
music is
times.
they do say, with the COVID thing, that the singing and different things
Yeah.
is kind of iffy,
Yeah.
So if you had if you had a group there, they'd have to be
So,
separated because of that, I
I
think.
think originally it used to be just in this hall, and then it got too big from what I was told, so that's when the church allowed us to go and use their area also. But.
This year, we're not gonna
We're not
use-
gonna be doing that, but that's what
Right.
they've done in the past.
Thank
So,
you, okay.
So I mean, I have the list of the people. If we did do pictures, this lady, I believe, has her own photography company. I mean, we could contact her and ask her.
Sure,
If we
because she
do
could
do
always put a
pictures,
card with the picture, couldn't she?
Yeah.
Some
She never
advertising.
has.
Huh.
I mean, I don't have a problem, one of us reaching out to them, and if that's what we choose to do, so.
Well, then they'd have to get out of the car. You could
Right.
do just a drive.
Right.
Which, I mean, they could, I mean, if you look at how they did graduations, they did, some places did drive-through graduations where
Yeah.
they would
That's
have them
true.
drive through, then just that family or so many people could get out and get a photo. So
Okay.
So, because I know some places, there are people disappointed, they had them driving along, and only one at a time, once they got to the certain spot and it was their child's turn, they could get the photo on the stage, and then if their family knows it's gonna be this, if we wanted to do something like that, obviously it couldn't be with Santa, but we could get something like a,
Well, maybe you could put Santa up on like a step.
Maybe.
And then the family could be 6
Something-
feet in
something
front,
like
so-
that.
Or Santa on one side of the tree and the family on the
yeah,
other side of the
something,
tree.
something like that, but you could, you just, it would have to be one family at a time, we have to, go
And if you have
through
50
and-
people, 50 cars, that could be.
Last year was smaller than what, I think, what it typically is. I think we went through around 30-something ornaments, and I think that's what she bases it on, is like the amount of ornaments. So it's like 30-something kids, but in the past, she said there's been like 50 to 75, so it's,
And you have to think about families, if we're doing like a car, they'd all be at the same time, so it'd be like the entire
Right.
family on one side, so if there's like 4 people in a family, they had 2 kids, it wouldn't be 2 individual kids, it'd be those 2 kids with the picture, it wouldn't be as many, it'd be basically like a carload, I guess, at a time.
Right. It would be kind of nice to get a Santa though, because there's not going to be any other place that Santa,
Yeah.
it's not going to be in the malls or the stores or anything too, so if we could figure out how to do that, and if he's willing. Does he have his own costume and stuff? The Santa outfit? Yeah.
I don't know if I have any pictures from last.
So I guess the first thing, I guess we should really figure out is where we're doing the tree lighting.
And
There
what
is-
time
Is
and,
that way we can figure out what we can do around with it, depending on the space that we have available and stuff.
So the tree lighting though, if I get this right, the tree is here that's lit. Does the
But
school
we-
have a tree too?
no.
We get, she was saying Stacy gives a tree, so I guess,
Well, we would have to reach out to Kim Stacy and ask Kim Stacy if she's gonna donate a tree.
yeah, but, so you, so well, I was getting at that, I'm guessing the tree can go wherever we decide we want to put it.
Well, no, there's a spot here for the tree, that's what Jen was
Right.
saying, there's a
Okay.
spot here for the tree. That's like, the town hall's tree that they use, not,
Okay.
There's a place in the ground.
there's a
she said
place in
there's
the
a
ground,
pole.
someone actually put a sonotube like in the ground
Yeah.
for
Okay.
the actual tree. It's actually like right to the left of this, right in the grass area right there, so that's where that the town would want us to have the
Okay.
tree to have lit, because that's the town,
I feel like we can't, we shouldn't bite off more than we can.
No, I think
So I think that's what I'm
The
saying. I'm saying
time
if we had to find a spot, typically we could put it anywhere, but if there's already a spot, then I think it makes sense to put
To
it.
do it here rather than do it in two places maybe
Right,
too.
yeah.
You know?
I do have a question. Are lights ever put on like the town hall or like this building at all? Like ever with the tree?
we had lights outside that we put, I mean, we had strands of lights around the stuff, but we took them down that night. The only lights that were left are up
Yeah,
were the
'cause I don't know
lights.
if, I mean, it just being so limited with activities and stuff, it might be kind of cool to have more lights as well, so people come like, oh, well, that's kind of really cool, but it might be too much.
I don't know if it's a religious thing for the town hall, I don't
I think
know.
less is more this year. I mean, that sounds bad, but like less time-wise.
Yeah, I know,
and
yeah.
putting it all together and,
Does the town have cones? So if you had to do a drive thing,
I think they do. I know they had,
we had rec cones and the
Yeah.
fire department brought cones. So last year, what the fire department asked us to do was cone off the area in front of,
where the tree was going?
no, where the fire department was pulling up.
Bringing with Santa.
With Santa, so we coned off an area so people didn't go and park down there. And it was literally like right out in front of here, like where the tree would be, and I can show you guys afterwards, like.
I was just thinking about it, like if you're gonna do a drive-in and you had to cone it off, you know, if
Yeah,
we
we-
can't use another road to go down by the church, maybe we could do a big circle in this parking lot and they drive out. That's why I was wondering where the tree
I don't know
would
if
be.
there'd be enough room to go up and around and,
Back,
so we
okay.
would have to do it like an
mean-
exact time.
yeah, I was gonna say, worst case scenario, we could do it like Jen said and have families submit their names and stuff and give them a time. Give them a, like,
Or could we do it like they do with the, some of the musical things where they have the drive up, where people sit in their cars to, there's the lighting and they don't have to get out of their cars?
for the tree lighting?
Yeah,
Like,
or do they, I mean, I don't know, because they have to be 6 feet apart, right? So how are you gonna make sure they're 6 feet apart? Are we gonna put little things there to,
Yeah.
like they do in the stores? Or are we gonna ask people to sit in their cars and we
There's
gotta
not
take
enough
one thing and the
space
other?
really to have people sit in their cars to see the tree.
Lighting,
that's why
okay.
I think I think the town thing would be a lot easier. I mean, with surveys and stuff, I think it's so easy with technology to get people to submit their information. You get it instantly. And there's so many apps out there. And I think it gives them time, say like yours at 5:35, we figure out how long we give people, so if they want to do a picture, estimate how long it take the photo, how long to enjoy, like, do whatever we want to do, say 5 minutes to do everything they need to do. 5:35, give it an extra minute just in case, so 5:36 will be the next family, and I especially if we're anticipating like, say 30 people, I don't think that's a lot to try to anticipate, and then
I
obviously.
think that's a lot for us to give everyone a time and.
To coordinate?
To coordinate.
I don't think it's that much to coordinate. I think I've done larger events with, like, I do a head shaving event, we've had like 900 heads where we had to shave, and we had like 4 barbers, and we had, you know, I think coordinating a time, it's really just people telling you who's going, and then you say, this is your time. Simple as that. First come, first serve, and then if someone says something, then you can figure it out then, but
But how do you do that and have a set time to actually light the tree?
I think that's the thing, is I think we're gonna have to just light the tree and have it be lit and have them see it for the first time. I don't think we're gonna have the whole experience where everyone gets to see it turn on.
At the same time?
I think no matter.
Especially if that parking lot's
Yeah,
not
I
big
think no
enough.
matter which way we do it, especially, I mean, we were talking earlier about doing a parade, they wouldn't see it that way either, the tree would be on. I don't think there's anywhere we're gonna be able to do it like we've done in the past, where everyone gets to be there and see the lights come on, unless we do like a video of it or something like that, and have it streamed for everyone to watch it like that if they wanted to do that.
So do you think that Santa should just go like on the fire truck and do a parade at the school and just do the circle with people?
I personally like the tree idea. I think there's been a lot of parades, and I think something different will be kind of nice. And I love the idea of Santa being there, and like you said, getting a photo, I think would be really, really cool. I think we could do that with the tree lighting thing. If we do a parade, it's kind of a quick drive-by, it's fun, but it's
Could we put the Santa, could we leave the Santa on the fire truck and have the people stand in front of the fire truck with Santa in the background?
I think that's possible, because then you could, I think that'd be really cool. I think especially if we're gonna limit, like, how time-wise for cars, we're not gonna be taking as much space as we anticipated. I think there would be room for the fire truck to be there.
And then
What
the
if
family could
we-
jump out, get their picture taken, jump back in and,
Yeah, I think that could be done.
What if we did something like I mean, it's kind of weather permitted, so it's tough, like for rain, if it's raining or something. But like something like, there's a lot of space up here.
Yeah,
yeah.
And people can park down that way where the gym is and stuff. And typically, we didn't have cars up here, we had blocked it off so that the cars didn't park
Yeah.
up here, so, because people were walking back and forth. So what if we were able to like, I don't know, like spray paint circles for families that are 6 feet apart? And each family could stay at one specific area, so you're 6 feet apart, everyone else, and spray paint each of them with a number. And that number is the first person that comes up to
Get their picture taken.
get their picture taken with Santa.
Or you could hand them a
I mean,
ticket too.
you know, hopefully it's not a day that it's downpouring. If it's snowing, it'd be pretty, but if it's downpouring,
Right,
you
people
know.
aren't gonna come anyway.
But I mean, then we don't have to do a drive-by. Because typically people are outside anyways, so.
I don't think you're gonna be able to spray paint.
yeah, and
Well, they have the chalk paint, you know, like,
That'll,
not sidewalk chalk, but like chalk paint that like,
that will.
that washes right away,
Oh,
that
okay.
like.
I mean, we could just use cones. Say, park
you could
between
do-
these two
yeah.
cones. You don't need spray paint. I kind of like the idea, because what I was thinking, if we do something like that and say, figure out how many cars we can get and say we can have so many cars, we could, I don't know if this would work, but we want everyone to get the tree lighting experience, light the tree, have like, say, 8 families show up, turn it on for them, and then have them leave, and then the next day, unplug the lights so they can get the lights turned on for them too. Would that
Do
be?
you think that,
There
do you
wasn't
think-
enough, I mean, there wasn't, there was actually enough room for the amount of people that come to be able to like have everyone out there, if that
Well,
makes sense.
I think the biggest, what I'm thinking about is I think we need is cars. I don't know what the mandate is for like being out, like parking and stuff. Are we gonna have enough room for everyone needing to be 6 feet apart, depending on who comes and everything?
What do you, I'm not
for
following.
parking, he said, like.
For
where would
cars
they-
parking?
For parking and just,
Well, the cars parked down there in our
But-
road. So, in the past, the cars didn't park up here at all. They parked down there and out on the road.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there was no, and people just walked up the hill, and this was all roped off, so people weren't driving up there. The only cars that were up there were like the people that was helping, set up and whatnot. So that whole area between the church and this is all wide open. So there's enough room, like, I wonder if I have any pictures. You could see like the group together of the amount of people that stood around the tree, and everyone just kind of stood around the tree.
But if
And,
we painted stuff, so if we put something on the ground that made their spot, when it's dark, are they gonna see that anyway? Is it lit up enough that they'd say, oh, well, there's my X and I'm standing here, and there's your X, so, you know what I mean? Are we gonna be able to,
Oh, I
are people
think
gonna see that? It's lit, so it won't be that dark, it'll be lit enough that people could see where they were standing.
I think so. I mean, we have lights
Maybe we could-
outside.
I mean, like, I think cones would be, you can see cones. I think.
We could take cones and get those plastic candy canes and stick it in the middle, or make the cones red and white so they look,
Yeah, or we can even just have someone, like one of us, or someone who's gonna be there and be like, as a car pulls up,
Yeah,
say,
you would have
oh,
to-
we'll walk them to the cone and say, this is, just stand here and stay in this area until we come and get you and it's your turn, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you put like a number on each, and
Yeah.
say Dan was, when the people came up, you had a check-in area, and Dan said, okay, you're number 1, and just go down the
Yeah,
list from
yeah.
1 to, and they go get in their spot.
And then what we could do if we wanted to, I mean, I guess if we wanna make it, didn't wanna make it too complicated, like, they could just go from like, once the family's done, just have the families move up to the next cone, like going in a circle or something like
And just
that.
keep going.
That's what we've done. I do a bunch of.
Everybody's used to lines like that
Yeah,
now.
so that way families can get closer to those who come later, you know, they're not just staying in their own time, they're moving,
sure.
staying warm if it is cold. It gives them some movement to keep them warm, but also, you know, and we could have each, maybe we could have, Jen was saying, like a specific number cone, there's a little station, so when you get to cone like 5, maybe we have to give you hot chocolate, I don't know, something like to keep them engaged or something like that.
That's what I was thinking, like pass out, like have hot chocolate made
But-
and maybe popcorn and hot chocolate or something like that, that like you can give them individually.
Yeah, like,
And do you think that's okay, I mean, I don't know, but do you think
Yeah.
that's okay that you could give them an open cup of hot chocolate? And during COVID times, I mean, other times I'd say no problem.
I feel like if we did, we'd just have to make sure like we had like, we would be the ones handling, or whoever would be it, we'd just make sure to, I guess, have sanitizer wipes and stuff like that on.
I
Because
see, I'm thinking maybe more you should just have something that's sealed with these crazy times. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could
Jen
do
did
that.
mention that there's guidelines that we have to follow, so I guess that would be a question we would ask the town.
So it would be the COVID guidelines then,
Yeah,
right?
for drinks and food.
Because, yeah, that would be my question with that.
Okay.
You know, just like when you think about Halloween and how people, you know, in different towns, they had to have those chutes to give the candy, that they couldn't even hand the kids candy and, or leave baskets out.
True.
You know, that would be my concern with that. So,
I mean, then that was a closed treat for everyone, I don't know.
yeah, get candy canes or something. I mean, what do you typically, like, okay, so they typically come and they make an ornament and they decorate cookies, you know, but I was getting, somebody, like Jennifer was saying something about like handing out stockings. I mean, are we gonna give them little presents like it sounded, or? Because
What
that would keep them
about coming up-
engaged too if they were waiting.
I know there's a lot of people that have, and said last year that they have ornaments on their tree from every year from doing that. So what about coming up with some kind of, take it at your home,
So make an ornament kit that they can take and make it.
home.
I like that idea. That's a cute idea.
It's not too much, I just
We'd really have to get
find
a-
pictures. I've got too many pictures on my phone.
I mean, I think that's kind of a,
And
I've seen, like, when my kids were in school, they would get you know, and I don't know, it was like an ornament that, if they're gonna have pictures taken, that could take a picture too.
Is there
yeah.
any way we could get like, I know it's, I don't know. I wish we could get like an ornament kit out to the families earlier and have them make a home, bring it in, and then at the end, give it back to them and say, this is yours to keep, but.
I think that sounds great, but I think if we only have 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know,
it's
that's
back
what I was
that.
trying to think.
I mean, I think even trying to find ornament kits and trying to get that together in 3 or, you know,
Well, I think that's something that
There's the
we,
tree from last year.
oh, that's pretty.
That's my daughter with the tree, but I'm trying to see if I can find more pictures. Oh, so okay. This is when the tree was first lit last year. See all the people just standing
Yeah.
around right outside here?
Yeah.
I'll show you one second, Dan.
Yeah,
So that's where the tree is, and it's kind of a small picture, but can you see it? So that's where everyone's standing right outside here.
I guess my biggest thing for people standing out is we need to just think of stuff to keep them engaged, because depending on how long it takes them to get to where they want to be, I just don't want them to be like cold and bored, especially with young children.
oh, isn't that nice?
That was where Santa was last year.
Maybe we could get music that they could be singing, I don't know if we could get
But
any.
even if we guesstimate how long it takes them to get to the tree, and if we do photos, how long it takes them to get to the photos, say, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? I don't know how long. Even with music, do you
It's gonna
think,
be cold. And-
that's my concern. That's why I was thinking more of the car thing, because I guess that's my biggest concern, is I'm thinking if I went to somewhere and I'm standing in line for like ever and I have young children, cold, them getting like bored and anxious to get to the front, and
Just to see Santa, I mean, that's a big thing.
That's part of the parking lot.
Oh, that looks nice.
That's So we had some lights out here in the parking lot.
But it's not like they would do, so you're looking, not that they do the ornament there, but that maybe they'd have something to drink or eat while they were waiting.
Or something, I guess, I mean, an ornament would be fun, but I don't think we could do an ornament there on site.
No, I don't think so either.
I just think in the past, and this is where I'm kind of gauging different from in the past, they had all that stuff to do because there was stuff to do, but that's why it was a long event. Because we
Right.
had stuff to do.
This wouldn't-
I feel like this year, I'm trying to keep it simple, trying to make sure,
Right.
you know, the main focus is the tree lighting.
And
then
Santa.
what we do in Santa, that should be the main focus.
Right.
Anything else we should do should be enhance it and stuff, but,
Well, there's enough
There's enough
space
people, yeah.
to,
but my question is, we have space, but do we have stuff to fill the time that people are taking that space up, like something to keep them engaged and stuff? If they're there to see the tree in Santa, is there something that people are gonna be like, it's worth us staying for 20 minutes or however long it takes to get there? Or is it gonna like not be a good experience for them if they're waiting?
So is there anything that we could get them, this might sound really corny, but like hopscotch?
yeah, you could play
Or
games.
little games outside. I mean, they'd have to stay with, they would only be one family at a time that could do
I mean, like, we
that.
could do them at different, like I said, different cones, like once you get to a cone.
Different cones, so could
There's
they
a
have,
challenge or something that you can do to like, that's what I was.
what's the, cornhole, or, you know, I don't
But
know.
then the problem with that though is like you have everyone who families do that has been touching everything.
That's
We'd have to
true.
have someone sanitize all that.
Right, that's true.
But like maybe if we had like, I don't know, like
If we're giving them any gifts, could you give them, like, is Santa gonna hand them, if we're giving them something, is Santa gonna hand it? Or could they get the gift while they're waiting, so that if there's a candy cane in it, or if there's, I don't know what you'd put in there, but little things that they could do to amuse themselves a little bit. I mean, I don't know, you know, having I had young kids a long time ago, but you could keep them amused with your family too a little bit if you had things to look at, as long as it wasn't more than 15 minutes, like you say.
yeah, and that's just where my concern.
So maybe what you're saying is, instead of signing up every 5 minutes, maybe like you said originally was, okay, this 10 family is coming at this time from 5 to 5:30 or whatever, and then 5:30 to 6, there's other families. Is that gonna be as festive? I don't know, you know, or the kids, I don't know, but maybe that would be a way to keep it.
I don't know, it's just very difficult because we have to keep safe and this makes it, like you said, it's Christmas, for me, Christmas is about the people and the joy and
Right.
all that stuff and.
yeah.
So we've got to think outside of the box and say, okay, it's a COVID Christmas, and what can we do? Like,
Right.
I mean, I like the cone idea, I just feel like there needs to be something to do, like,
I know when the rec in the past had talked about taking it over, I guess, for a couple of years, and they talked about doing like different stations or games or different things outside. I mean, last year, Terry, had her little speaker thing, and she tried to sing some caroling with the kids, and, you know, they sang a couple of songs, but that
they could pin the nose on reindeer, on Rudolph, and that they would just be holding their own and not touching anything else. If you want to do some games, I don't know, like at the cone, and
They would, yeah, they would have to be stationary, and like you said, you'd have to walk to them, because otherwise people are gonna be walking.
yeah, and that's, but then it also give kids something, to, like, there's like, you know, every so many cones, depending on how many cones we.
okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Right.
Do you think that's too much? This is a COVID year.
think so.
Do you think that's too much? Should we just do a drive-by with the
That's what I was-
pictures and hand them a goodie bag and,
That's what
I
I
don't
was
care for the
thinking.
drive-by portion.
okay, or they park and come at
Yeah,
their time
I
and
feel-
go?
Well, I feel that for as short of amount of time that they're gonna be outside, we're taking an event that used to be, people were here for 2.5 hours, and we're knocking it down to
An hour.
like a half an hour event, and now we got a drive-by event, and people are gonna come up, and they're gonna drive by, and they're gonna see Santa, and they're gonna leave. I'm
Okay,
not sure if I would even go to that if that was
Well,
you
it
know,
depends on if you wanted your kids to see Santa.
right, I don't,
So let's think the big draw this year should be the tree lighting and Santa.
Yeah.
And that's what, but
And
you also have to think, ooh, that is something.
Oh, Dan.
There you go.
You okay, Dean?
Oh, yeah. Nope, no, there.
oh, the pin is, you gotta like push the pin up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy. That happened.
I don't know. Ooh. That's some excitement right there. Oh, no.
So maybe we don't have to really worry about that they're not gonna be hanging out that long.
I don't think they're gonna be hanging around long
I don't think
enough
they
in
are
order
either.
to get too cold.
So they'll come and they'll get their picture taken with Santa and they'll see the tree lighting. That
And
should
see
be
this
pretty
tree
much the
lighting
mission.
and you hand them either an ornament or a little gift and then they go. I mean, that's my opinion, that's how
I
I,
kinda agree with that too, because I think it'd be really nice to do games, but I think giving our time constraint,
and not knowing how cold it is. And we
Right.
could have a couple of easy, I have an easy up, I mean, we could have a couple of easy ups and, in case it rained, I don't know if anyone else does, but in case it was raining or something.
so are we not allowed to use this room at all?
They're not renting it out is what she said, they said all public buildings are not being.
Too bad, because it would be nice if like one family could come in at a time and take their picture and leave, you know what I mean? But if we can't do that, they can't do that.
How about the church?
The church is still doing outside, aren't they?
On Sundays, I think.
So probably not then.
I doubt, I mean, we can reach out to them, but I don't think that they're, I don't think they're gonna allow it,
Having other people,
but
yeah.
I would think that the town hall would allow us to use the bathrooms. I mean, have it open for people to come in to use the bathroom.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If it's not gonna be that long of an event, then I would say go before you come.
And that's the thing, if
Well, I know,
that,
but if it's a town event, don't we have to supply?
I don't think so. I
Especially,
think we're probably gonna have to make that known, that the facilities are closed when people come, because if you had somebody who was little, you'd be like, go to the bathroom before we go.
Right, or we can ask if we can
Use
have
it.
it open just for the restroom, which they may allow that, like one or two people inside, but we,
Just like the Mary Grant, we just did a, drive-through and it is what it is.
Right,
They have a-
because of it,
doesn't
right.
the Mary Grant have an outhouse?
But nobody went out.
Right, no one even got out of their cars to do it, but,
No, we didn't want them because then you'd get out of the car and
okay, yeah, I think, so we're gonna do a tree with cones around it, 6 feet apart each. And then
we have a certain time, I mean, we could have them show up right at, what's it get dark by 5 o'clock?
yeah, it was 5 by the time I got
Before
here. I got
that.
here.
Much later than that, where we don't have a place to get warm and just do it like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. I think 5's enough time. I don't know, some people might not get home from work until 5.
It's Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
Saturday.
So I think, yeah, 5 will be good. So music, do we have to, is there anyone who could get like speakers or something and play Christmas? We don't need in-person carolers.
Right.
Didn't we purchase, the rec purchased, I believe the rec purchased the, little portable speaker system.
Because I think that would make it more festival, people waiting, singing along, someone can,
Right, I think
listen.
that would be great.
That'd be
Okay,
good. I feel more
so
comfortable
with that
having-
being said, you need someone to head that up. I'm not a person that's gonna,
I wouldn't be able to figure out how to get the music on.
be there and head up Carolyn. I mean, would you be like a person that would do that?
Oh, I sing all the time.
Okay,
but-
that's good,
But,
because I don't.
So how, do they definitely have speakers, and do they have something to put CDs in, or do you just like use your phone?
I guess we'd have to see what the speakers are, because some, depending on how old what they are, some of them
Well-
can connect it with an
So we should go in
adapter.
that closet anyway that she said they have and see what's in there.
And maybe we,
Not sure where it would even.
well, maybe someone can email Jen and ask us if we can do it on Thursday when we meet, so when we come here, that's one of the things we have on our agenda, and say, since you're all gonna be here already, we can say, hey, is there a chance that we can access that closet to go over and check stuff off when we're all together?
Well, as of right now, I know it's in the closet,
Are the speakers there?
I don't know if the speakers were actually purchased. That was one of the very last things that one of the people on the board was doing, was purchasing the speakers. I'm not sure if they were actually purchased or not. So it was like an intercom type thing. Like, have you ever seen Terry has like a little box type thing that she carries around that's got like an intercom and she's got a microphone and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I believe that's what, and I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't know if it was ever purchased or not.
You know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Maybe Terry can sing a few songs, because she has a beautiful voice.
Oh, she does. She did
Oh,
last
so
year.
she could
sang-
do all this. Can she sing without the, music?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she projects, yes.
That's what she did last year, was,
So we'd have like a speaker and she could sing like with a microphone or something so we could hear or something like that.
I mean, if she can,
If she was,
Very talented.
if she would do that, that would be awesome.
or she could have her alternate and do her sing a song here and there and then.
no, she travels though in December, doesn't she?
You have to ask.
Right, we'd have to ask her if she would be available to help us out, or we can see if we can get, if we did purchase the thing. Last year, she's actually came out of the church and like, she was like, okay, Santa's coming. She's the one that got everyone engaged and stuff. Santa's coming, and then she started singing, Santa's coming to town, and then
So
everyone,
maybe she'll
followed
want to
in.
help us.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I
Maybe
mean,
she
last
could
year
come to
she said she
Thursday's
would be
meeting.
willing to help out, so we can definitely
I don't know
call
who
her.
does she live right over here?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And we should reach out to her about the competition thing too, about seeing if we could.
Right, you thought of making the maps thing.
Because I think that'd be really good after they leave here. I think it'll get people more in support of her event, but also,
Do you know her?
no, I just know that.
Do you know her? So maybe you could
I don't-
reach out to her, because I don't even know who she
I can
is.
reach out because, like I said, we're doing the treat. My family's doing Full House Farm is sponsoring that event, so I can reach out to her about that and just
Okay, so reach out to her, ask her if she will,
Sing.
sing and about the lights.
and the lights, yay.
And what else did we want to, wasn't there something else we wanted to ask her?
I don't think her. We need to ask
Oh, the map thing. Okay.
Stacy about
Santa?
the tree. Oh,
You want me to call Santa and,
okay. Lori will call Santa. Who would we talk to about if the rec purchased the speakers or the speakers?
Jen?
Okay, I can talk to Jen about that. Carol, is there? Do you know the Stacy's?
Is she our selectman?
Yes.
Oh, I could call her. You want me to ask her about the tree?
Yeah, that would be because
And that's Kim Stacy Horn, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I can get her phone number off the town website, correct?
And then
correct.
Okay.
we're gonna need to figure out if we need to get more cones or not.
And then we need to
Well, we have to-
contact the Santa and contact the fire department.
Okay, do you want to do both of that, Lori, since they're kind of, wait,
I know last year that the fire department wanted a written request.
I know Wayne Ham, I can reach out to him and ask him what their procedure for that would be. He works,
Yeah, it's a written request, you have to put a written request in for, well, we did last year anyways.
I can reach out to him personally and say what would they prefer, and then once he tells me, I can ask him this weekend, and then we can figure out how we want to word it or something on Thursday's meeting.
And how long we need him for.
Yeah.
You can figure that out too, and what he does.
Because his family and ours are friends, and I know he's in the fire department, so. So what else? So we have the tree.
Oh, who is the man that helped us set up the tree?
Oh, Lori said you knew who that was.
Okay, so I have Santa, the photograph woman, her name is Amanda McWinnick. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
How do you spell it?
MC, capital W-H-I, McWork? W-H-I-R-K.
McWork? Where do I say McWork? I don't know.
M-C-W-H-I-R-K, so W. I got this list this afternoon, and she said she'd get me phone numbers. so then we need to find someone that is willing to print the pictures afterwards, or I'm not sure if she used to give them, a SIM card. I guess we could go to the
Well,
We could go to CVS.
CVS or something like that and
Right.
print them and
what
then,
we could do, I mean, I know, like, going back to my running, they do a bunch of photography and they do like free digital downloads and sharing on social media, but if someone wanted to print, they could do it through her if they wanted.
I'm sorry.
But for her, I'm saying if she has an online presence, she could do the photos because a lot of people use social media mainly, they don't use many like actual physical photographs, they do them for like Facebook and stuff, say, here's an album we can share on our Facebook page or whatever, and say, like, here are your photos. I mean, I don't know, instead of getting the print, because that might be too much to figure out.
Well, yeah, because then,
But that's what I
how did
guess that's
she
probably
used to
more
do
work
that?
for
Did she
her.
just used to put them on the board and people would come and just get their picture?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
people
kinda
would
cool.
just- We used to last year we posted that the
Pictures were
pictures
ready.
were ready at the town hall and they came and picked them
Okay.
up.
So, I don't mind calling her if you give me the number. I mean, I don't know.
I gotta get her number.
Yeah, and, if she doesn't work out, I might know somebody who might take pictures too. So, I don't, yeah. And is she in town? Is she a photographer in town?
She's either Acton or Shat.
Oh, so she's local.
She's local.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's been doing it just like,
And she just donates her time and does
Yeah,
it, like, she's been doing it for
I
years?
guess so, yeah.
Okay.
But someone else printed them, so the person that used to do the thing, her husband used to print them. So I don't know if he'd be willing to print them again.
Yeah, but I
or
think
not,
if,
but-
we have enough
but
money.
CVS or something like
But if we
that.
have enough money and we're not buying the other supplies,
Right.
we should be able to
But
print
also,
them out.
Carol, if you talk to her, I mean, ask her to send her like a copy of her logo or something. If we have any like social media or something, advertise it. Like when we promote the event, even if it's a week away, we say with photos by. A great way, if she has a company or something like that, or she does like professional, like, it'd be a great way to, get.
For her to
come back and
advertise,
say,
but it doesn't sound like she cared about that, because you would.
But even then, it's a nice gesture, and it might be good for her too,
Okay.
especially with everything going on. I think whenever you work with anyone, it's always good to advertise their business, say, hey, they've supported us, and we want to support them because they
Right.
do great work.
Right.
So even if she says, we'll just post it on Facebook, so we'll just say photos by.
Oh, we could do that, we could put it on Facebook, pictures that we got, if people, they'd have to release it, wouldn't they? They'd have to, if we put something on Facebook,
Well,
but,
no, I mean, like, we did a flyer, like, so, like, once we figure out the plan and stuff like that, when we obviously want to promote the event and people know, like, safe
Okay.
and what's going on, we'll put on, like, the flyer or whatever, just saying, and photographs will be with Santa or of Santa, however we decide to do it.
and they're by Amanda,
what-
or whatever her
by
business is.
Amanda, yeah.
Okay,
So ask her if she has, like, a logo or a business card or something that we
Okay.
could help promote for her.
okay.
And same with, Lori, you said you had the information for the, who helped set up.
I have his
Boom truck?
name.
Boom truck?
His name is Steve Vincent.
And who is that guy?
His name is Steve Vincent. He's the one that has Boom Truck that came
Okay.
and set the tree up and he put the lights on, so,
Would you like to talk to him since you kind of were here last year and you know exactly what his role was?
I can try to get his number and call,
Cause you kind of have an idea of what he did. I don't think Carol and I would know. So if he asked, like if he didn't know exactly, remember, you'd be like, oh, this is what you did last year.
Right, and then we'd have to coordinate that the tree was here when he wants to set it up.
Yeah.
right, so that's all he wanted to know last year. He wanted to know like, when the tree was gonna be there and he just came up.
Well, I'm sure when I talk to Kim, she'll know when she brought the tree
Yeah,
last year,
exactly.
so.
And then, so we have the boom truck, the photographer, fire department, Santa, speakers and radio,
And you're
Tree.
calling,
Terry,
You're gonna call Terry and ask her if she'll sing.
singing, and about the, getting a map, if they're gonna do the same thing, and I'll also talk to Jen about the speakers, if we have them or not, and then talk, to Wayne Ham about the fire department. Lori's gonna contact Santa, Steve from the boom truck, and Carol, gonna talk to Stacy about the trees, and Amanda about the photography.
Correct.
And then I guess the only other really thing is, what are we gonna do if we're gonna do a giveaway?
Does everyone like the idea of ornaments?
I think it seems like a tradition, and I think families look forward to it, so I think having the kit, I think it'd be a good thing to bring families together during the
You
holidays.
can just put a bag in that they can make it, but
Yeah.
what do you think we could, I mean, they did wooden ornaments, so they got
Yeah,
wooden
so-
things and then painted it, I mean, we're not gonna give them paint or
Yeah,
anything.
so, right, so it would have to be more of a kit.
I mean, a simple thing that I did when I was in college, I mean, you can buy just plain plastic orbs. And one thing that we did was one thing that was, I mean, it's simple and easy, but you could get a couple for the family and, you just put like a certain, I have to reach my friend, but a certain type of glue, and you put glitter in it and you shake it up and it creates different patterns and designs in it. You can give a couple for each kid to do their own or something like that.
Oh, you could do that, and you could put ribbons in it and some glitter, and you
Yeah,
could
they
make
could
little
decorate the
bags.
plastic itself, but they sell those like plastic already orbs that you can, or you can get glass ones and stuff and get paint and stuff like that, so it doesn't have to be something too complex.
Or do you think we could get like, I mean, I like that too, or, you know, I've seen like ornaments that you can put a picture in. So
is
if
what
you
we
did a
used
little
last year.
ornament, oh yeah, those are
But-
cute.
yeah.
And then they could put the picture from this Christmas in it.
But I'm wondering if there's like actual like packages, instead of like, that's a whole kit, see those? The brown ones? I'm wondering.
How much does it say how much they are?
Those were only like, they were $16 for like a pack of 50 of them.
And then did you get a kit, did this,
Yeah, we put those on the table and then we put
things of glitter
a
and
whole
things,
packet, you know, we had 3 stations of.
so they could do it,
So
but
they
that
could
we
do it
would,
right there, but to do it at home, we'd have to
right.
think of something different.
So, well, so we definitely want to do some sort of ornament, are we agreed on that?
I'm okay with that, if that's what you
Fine
guys
with it
have
if we
always
can figure it
done.
out.
What we can do, we can
We could
get
look,
an ornament, and then the next meeting have pictures.
yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't,
Each have at least like 1 or 2 ideas, and then we'll go over them and see what we also want to have with the ornament, or if it's a kit, if it comes with stuff, and then we can vote on that on the next meeting, and I can send an email to the.
yeah, because I think that's something we're gonna have to get working on
Yeah.
unless there's somebody locally who makes little wooden things or something. I think that's a great idea.
So,
Get ideas and come back.
1 to 2 ideas at least for next meeting. Each. And then that way, we'll still have those 2 weeks, so we can, if we need to order them online or something,
Personalized.
we can do that, or go to a store, wherever we need to get them.
Yeah, I don't know if like Michael's. What is
I mean,
Michael's, the
one
different
business I don't like
restaurants.
supporting, but I know they might have some stuff, is, Hobby Lobby. I know they have a lot of stuff there apparently, but, Michael's and, what's it, Joann's, is it Joann's? Is Joann's?
Joanne's, yeah.
Are they still around?
I mean, we could always put kits together if we wanted to put glitter or stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah,
glue.
but that's what I meant, we could just order that thing, like, one thing, like what Lori showed us, there's one base, and then it's easy to just get packs
Stuff,
of,
right.
like, little glue sticks, or little Elmer's glue and packs of stuff, and just say, but one thing that would be kinda cool, especially if we're doing it, if we could do something like one specific, like, thing that shows that it was an ornament for this year, like, oh God, I wish, I don't know.
Here, the date, you mean?
Could we take masks and they can decorate the mask and hang them on the tree?
That's beautiful.
That's my idea.
Or
These
maybe,
masks right here, and then they could.
Or maybe we
box
could
of
find-
crayons in it.
maybe we could find like little mask stickers and give one for each family and say, put this on your ornament, so you know this was during COVID, or something like that, I don't know.
What would it be? I was just like trying to search on Amazon for, prepackaged ornaments. Craft ornaments, I don't know.
You don't know anybody that's a little woodworker around that makes little wooden things that,
I can ask, but no one right off the bat that I can think of.
Oh, wow, look at those. Those are cool. Look at that. They're like little round
oh,
wood.
they're just little pieces of wood that they
Yeah.
could drill a hole in. You know, they do a lot of that stuff for weddings with those, for table numbers and things.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like 30 of them with, it comes with the
Heck, we gotta change.
string
that.
for $17.
For how much?
$17, 60
That's not
piece
bad.
unfinished Christmas wood. Everything's similar to what I think's been done. I didn't know if they like actually had like pre-packages all made up.
I don't think many places do. I think usually you can buy the ornament itself in bulk, but then it's up to you to.
So would that be enough? I mean, I really don't think we should do food and drinks, but I mean,
No.
we can find out about that. But would the ornament, the bag for the ornaments for them to do, would that be enough?
I think maybe some candy canes. Candy canes are cheap to buy in bulk. I think the ornament's fun, but candy cane can make sure like everyone gets one.
That was something that someone suggested last year, that it would have been nice if we had thought that of Santa to give out an ornament.
Could we make them into reindeer? I love making this.
How do you make candy canes into reindeer?
You put little eyes on them and a red nose and then antlers.
I think that'd be a fun, cute thing.
I don't know how many you'd have to make, but.
I mean, I don't think you have too many candy canes. I mean, especially since it's before Christmas, like Jen said, if we have leftover, we can always give them out to people, like, even after Christmas. I eat candy canes all year round, let's be real. I think they're delicious. But, so
I think we could get candy canes and do something with them.
yeah, and I think worst case scenario, we just give out multiple candy canes.
Yeah, I think candy canes would be,
And like she said, better to make sure that everyone gets some than to run out. And especially with candy canes being, so many cents per piece that you can get when you buy in bulk.
right. So the ornament and candy canes, the picture with Santa, which we'd have to coordinate.
They're like little foam ones,
Oh, they're a little cute too.
And I think
a little bit more money.
How much money do you think we're looking to,
$15.
how much money are we looking?
per individual one or as the packet?
12 pack of those ones,
12 pack, oh, that's not bad.
How much were they for 12?
15.
15.
And say, they got 30 for the Halloween thing. So that'd be 12, 24, 36, that'd be $45. And then would we think we'd get more than that, the Halloween, since we're not doing the drive-through?
Yeah, those are cute.
They just like put them together yourself type of thing.
So I don't think it would be more than $100, depending on how many people we anticipated.
I know, we need an extension cord, and I think it's like an extension cord that, like, on-off. It was
I
like a
have,
big,
I have
big-
plenty of.
We have-
This was a
I've got
big,
plenty of
heavy-duty type.
I've got heavy-duty extension cords, and then you have a box, is that what you're looking for,
Yeah.
they can plug in? I mean, I think, do you
But it
have,
turned on and off at certain time of day,
oh, so we have to leave it out there, so it had a timer on it.
I guess.
We should look into that, she may have that with.
Yeah, you should ask.
Well, she doesn't, that was hers. That's one thing that she said that we would have to purchase, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So if we're talking about a budget, we need, and
Okay,
so an extension cord, I can find out, I guess we could put a list of together of
Timer.
what we all think, especially if we're looking at ornaments and stuff, and bring an amount of what we all think back next
yeah,
time.
and if I can print pictures, I'll bring pictures too, or on your phone or something, might be nice if we can see what everybody's talking about too. As far as like your kits, but yours was on your phone, you passed that too, so. So extension cord and
We need
timer. we need-
ornaments.
And then we gotta figure out if we need more cones or not, especially, or if we have enough cones.
And then we'd need a bag, some sort of bag to put the ornaments in, right?
Candy canes. And, I mean, if the hot chocolate, if we could do a big thing of hot chocolate, if she says that that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm really hesitant about that, but if she says it's okay, then
Well, I
that's
guess if
great.
people didn't want it, they don't have to take
Right,
it.
but I just don't know what the legalities, of that is.
I can ask, is it Jen who we talked to about that?
Yes,
I can ask her when I reach out to her about
Speakers?
the speakers.
Okay.
chocolate and maybe popcorn or some sort, or are we just gonna do candy canes, or are we gonna do?
I think candy and hot chocolate, the popcorn might be too much, especially.
Or if you're gonna do popcorn, I think you'd have to.
Individual
bags of
or
some
bag of
sort.
chips
I mean,
or
you could do little individual bags of little cookies too, since you're not gonna have cookie decorating, you can get those little bags and hand out little cookie bags too, you know, with whatever they are, the little chocolate chip ones that you can get. or
Yeah, like
something.
Chips Ahoy or something?
Yeah, I mean, but they come in like little
We want to
snack
put that on a
bags.
budget is what I'm asking.
Especially if you're
I
doing
think
hot
we should-
chocolate. I think Chips Ahoy or something like that would be,
I think we should think of, maybe think about it. I think
Prepackaged.
we need to ask
Yeah.
Jennifer about the food thing. I think she'll let the prepackaged go. I don't think that's an issue.
Right.
But, I think we need to get that answer and that, because that would be easy to go get.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
in order, once we get that answer. So our mission for next week is to, come up with some ornaments that we like. I think we should also think about the logistics out here, maybe sleep on it a little bit and think about how
Well,
we're,
I think the biggest thing we'll have to do is either pick either earlier meeting time or a day when we can come and when it's light out
and look at it.
and kind of walk around and envision and like if we have cones or something, kind of like place stuff out so we can get a general idea.
And if the cones are orange, maybe I can come with a sprig of pine and stick pine in each one and make it look
They're definitely orange.
kind of like Christmas or something, so it looks a little bit more Christmassy.
If we had enough time, it'd be really cute. You could make a little Christmas tree out of it.
It would be-
If we had enough time, we could do so much.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Well, we can look forward to that for next year.
Right.
This is
we
just to
need
get through
pass-
COVID.
Yeah, have something so it doesn't end up being the year without a Santa Claus.
Correct,
Yeah.
or tree lighting. So are you checking with Santa? Are you gonna call
Yes,
them?
I'll check with Santa, so,
Yeah.
and,
Do you, I don't know if we're allowed to email people or anything, email each other, but it might be kind of nice that if you said, well, Santa's not available, that we knew that, so maybe we could be thinking, who
Yeah.
else could
So-
we get?
so we can do an email, group email
Is-
together?
Do you guys all have a Gmail account or
I
no?
do.
I was gonna say, if you did, you could use Google Drive. When I was I do Kiwanis and like we set up email specifically for Kiwanis and you can share, edit and documents all through your Drive and but if you don't, then we can figure something out. So that'd be an app. That,
Even just so we could communicate that you could say, oh, I can't do that, you know, this
So-
person's not gonna do it, I can do, or like the photographer, I could say to you guys, hey, she's not gonna do it, I got somebody else, or do you have somebody, or,
So there's two ways that we could do it, in the past, the rec has done, is just email. I'm not a big email person. I'm more on like Facebook.
And I'm not
So
on
we had a private, you're not a Facebook.
well,
So
my husband has a Facebook account, so I
for
could
a
do
while,
that.
we did have a private group for Facebook, and we contacted through that.
Okay.
And then after that, at the end, we had just emails, because the person that was the chair liked to do emails and contacted everyone through email. I never check my email, so.
I mean, what we
I'm
could
not a big
do,
email person, but we can, I mean,
I think what we could do, and I think this is, just use both, say, we'll send an email out, so it's like the official for everything, for everyone, and Jen, have everyone CC'd on it that needs to be, and, but we'll also keep information in the Facebook group, that way, if someone prefers one or the other, they'll still get it. I mean, that's what, like, through Kiwanis, we had people who preferred email, but we had a Facebook group, because some people check one but not the other, but that way, sure, whichever one you check, you still had access.
glasses are fogging up.
You do that, maybe, or?
Yeah, that's great.
Like, so if say, if you send an email out, Carol, Lori sees it, Lori, you can post to the Facebook group, hey, Carol just sent this out in your emails if you didn't get it. Someone can just follow up with that or something like that, or vice versa. If Lori posts in the Facebook group, someone could say, she would also follow up with an email to everyone, so to make sure that those who don't have the Facebook app, but that way, you just make sure whichever form of communication you have, you will get notifications.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I could always paste.
There's my email.
Thank you.
I also have a question talking about Facebook. I saw that the rec has a Facebook
Yes.
page.
Yep, so do we want to continue? I'm on it still, finally, I think.
I would love to. I love
I'm gonna put,
media and publicity. Like, I love
Yeah.
making flyers and stuff like that. So I would love to be able to be like whatever on it. Because I can make flyers for this once you get the information down. For my St. Baldrick's thing, I advertise and like all the public relations for that. So I think I'm pretty okay with public relation type of stuff.
Yeah.
Here's,
do you have to be friends if you have a private group? Do you have to be friends on Facebook in order to,
Yeah,
do I? Because I should be able to add you guys to
There's mine.
the Facebook.
oh, I mean, maybe not, I don't know if you have to be friends, I mean, I guess you just have to find us and see if you can add us, but, I don't know.
The old chair,
I mean, we could always text too, I suppose. Do it that way.
oh yeah, I can give you my phone number too.
Yeah, here, I should have given you mine when I wrote that. down.
I'm more of a phone,
I'm good at texting. That might be
I
better.
use
Maybe.
Facebook Messenger a
Here,
lot.
let me take your phone number and then I'll put my phone
Here's
number on
mine.
there.
You want, take mine too? I would rather a text, honestly.
Okay, I'll text
Or
you.
Facebook message than email.
I mean, I could text both, of you. We can text at the same time, so text
Yeah, I can
them.
do any of them. Here's mine.
I think I have 20,000 things on my, you want me to write my phone number down for you too?
Oh, you can just text me it. Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
My email number.
Dan, I'm just not sure if I can read you right in, so.
Dan, is your last name Norwood?
Yeah, Norwood.
Okay.
So it's my D in the Norwood.
Gotcha.
.cki@gmail.com.
CK?
Yep, CKI.
CKI@gmail. But you're right, I'll text if that's better.
Gmail.
Anyone works, any of those
Okay.
three works for me. I use all of them.
Okay.
How about we do texting for now, because I think it's the most quick and efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially.
And I'll only text you if I could text you and let you know who I got hold of and they're gonna do it or they're not.
Yeah.
Or I could just tell you if they're not gonna do it and not text you and tell you next week. But you'll get us the phone number, you'll get me the phone number for
Yes.
Amanda Mc,
Yep.
okay,
McWork or Mc,
whatever, yeah.
We're gonna put that.
so for our next meeting, we should have contacted or gotten or at least one attempt to contact these people that we'll have, ideas for the ornaments and things that we might need for the budget, for what we might need for the event.
Yeah. And
And we're gonna do, do we agree with the time, 5 o'clock?
I think that's a good time. I think it's just dark, but also if people have other plans later in the evening or something like that, it will be early enough.
Okay.
December 6th, 5
And-
o'clock.
Do you work outside of the house, or what is,
No, I'm home.
do you work
I'm pretty
during the
much-
day, Dan, or?
I do, but I can take time off if I need it.
Okay, but you have like a Monday through Friday?
Yeah,
Schedule normally?
usually, yeah, it's usually 7 to 3:30 now in the winter.
Okay.
And then some Saturdays I work in the morning, usually no later than 12.
Okay, but I mean, better to reach you after 3:30.
Oh, you can reach me during the day.
I could take, well,
I usually, I respond usually at lunchtime or and when I get out of work. So if you send something in the morning, I see at lunch, I will respond then.
Okay, and, to get the ornaments, would you be interested who would like to, go through them and all that type of stuff?
as far as, well,
Not the ornaments, the lights.
oh, I don't mind going through them.
Okay.
I mean, if we get them, I can go through them, that's not a
So I
problem.
could get them in, or.
Are they new lights or are they the
They're
old?
the big bulbs. They're really nice. They're like a big,
They're the old fashioned kind
yeah,
of
they look
light.
old fashioned, but
Yeah, and we'll see if she has extras, but yeah, that's fine, I can just plug
and
them
I
in.
think, well, we had like an extra one that we put around here. I don't know how many.
Well, it depends on the
5 or
size tree it
6.
is too.
What's that?
What size the tree is, but.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there were like 5 or 6
Yeah, I can-
strands of them.
not a problem.
And I think that the like basic ones that you can get at Walmart too, so you could always get another strand or something.
Okay,
If we need to. And then I brought ornaments and like the big blow up, Santas and stuff from.
Oh,
my
you
house
have some of
that-
those?
Yeah, I have 2 that we put out.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean, I can bring those if anyone, because we're only putting that stuff up just for
That night.
That night and just the tree. stays on. So if we want to do any other decorations, then that'd be nice, because it would put some light out there.
Yeah.
So we had lights all over the place in here last year. It was pretty cool. But, and there were some outside, so it helps light up.
I think I have outdoor lights if we decide, that I don't use, that
Right?
we can use that night if you decide we want to.
Yeah, if we wanted to do
We'll need
more.
some time when, like you said.
Yeah, that's something that we can figure out later on, once you
Yeah,
figure out
because
if we
this
need
other
to get-
stuff's more important, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, is there anything else that we need in regards?
I'm sure once we get home, we'd be thinking about it, but
I don't think so. I think I'm good. Anyone else?
I'm just excited about this. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I'm really pumped that this is the first thing that we're gonna do as a committee.
Cool.
I wish we could really do it, but without COVID.
Yeah.
And then we had more time, but this will be good. It's probably good that we have COVID since we only have a few weeks to pull this off, right?
And I think, I think it sounds like, I think it's gonna be a great job for, what, the time and what we can and cannot do, what we're limited to, but I think it's, like you said, I think it will be better than drive-through, so.
Yeah. And some sort of
Now, my other
community
question, if it's
together.
raining,
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
what, do we put a rain date on it? Like, could we say it's December 5th at 5 o'clock unless it's raining, and then it's December 6th at 5 o'clock, and make it Saturday and Sunday? Or do they not do that? I mean, never doing this, we just hope it doesn't rain.
I think we pray for the best.
Okay.
That's something, I can ask Jen what they've done in the
Yeah,
past. and
ask
see
if we
what-
can do a rain date, just because if it's
The
pouring.
problem is we're asking the fire department and the Santa Claus and all the people.
Yeah, but they're not gonna wanna be in the rain either. So if it was pouring, they might.
I guess the only thing we could do for a rain date is we could do the drive-through. It's basically the same thing, but without all the extra stuff, and just have like you said, easy up for Santa, or maybe, I don't know. They'd still see the lights, and we could still go around and see the other lights if they need to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
but they're not gonna get their pictures taken.
I guess we would have to ask everyone that we're calling if they would be willing to do a rain
we'll
date.
give them the 2 dates and say, if in case, would you be able to do that? And
Yeah, because if we have one person that can't do
Right.
it, then,
Right, so,
we don't have pictures, or we don't have Santa show up, or we don't have.
right, we definitely need Santa and we definitely need, do they take pictures at night and they get a nice picture?
Well, I
with
don't
the-
know, because it was always inside, so I don't know
Oh,
if she
so
could
see,
do, that's
that's-
something you'd have to ask her.
Yeah, because is it gonna be,
She'd
it's
be
it's
able to-
outdoors,
Yeah, I did, well,
door.
I feel like,
Yeah,
putting the
I-
camera with flashes and stuff, with
Yeah.
technology, depending,
the pictures came out really good,
Yeah, but you're right, it was indoors, so outdoor pictures,
yeah,
obviously
we
because
want
of
to make sure we
COVID.
tell her that, that's
Need
true.
lights, okay, because she's gonna be outside, they're not gonna be inside, and that might be a
Yeah.
problem.
do we have any spotlights or anything
Well,
that?
I have some old construction, I
Yeah, I
have
have one of-
construction lights.
Yeah, but we could put like, I don't know, on the side or something.
Or you could put it so the photographer's here and the pictures, and the lights shining on
Yeah,
the
something
people.
like that,
I
maybe
mean,
we could,
yeah, so I'll ask her
I
about
guess you would
that,
want to ask the photographer, yeah,
ask her about that as well.
where it's outside.
So somebody like her, if it's pouring rain, she's not gonna wanna come take pictures. I don't know
Right.
if Jennifer's gonna allow us to have a rain date,
I'll ask her about that.
so
Ask her what happens if there is rain, I guess.
so maybe when I'll ask, if I get hold of, the photographer, I'll say, are you available Sunday night too? We're thinking we might have a rain date, can you do, and how long am I asking her to be here, an hour?
Yeah, I don't think much longer than an hour.
More than an hour.
Because you're not doing a potluck, you're not making the ornaments, it's people coming, standing, and we're gonna have some music and then we'll have some things until we decide to.
Okay, all right. I'll get information I can, at least touch base, and then when I have more questions, we can always
Yeah.
ask if I get her to commit. That sounds great.
Trying to see.
And we should look for Christmas bags of some sort to put
Oh,
the
yeah,
ornament in too.
Oh yeah, bags, okay.
That was
That's
a
a
basic
terrific-
picture outside right after the tree lighting. So,
Oh, so that's pretty good.
yeah.
Okay, that looks really,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right
I mean, I was saying with
outside, so-
technology that you can,
do
And
that.
that was with my phone, that's it.
Oh, that's good.
So I guess,
So if we need any of those lights from somewhere else, we can always bring those construction lights if they have to shine somewhere else.
I mean, it looks like that was just the
And I-
spotlight on the backside. And look at how much light's there.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. So I think the pictures would be okay.
Okay. And the ornament, let me just go back to the ornament. So say I arrive there and I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Am I getting 1 ornament?
One per kid.
yeah.
1 per kid, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying like, you know,
So it might be kind of nice if we got a variety pack. So you wouldn't have 3 snowmen, you might have, you know,
or even even if there's one pack, we got multiple packs. Like if there's like 12, like, there's 12
Right.
of those, get like 2 of those 12 to 24, another one that's,
right.
You can see,
So they had different.
that was one of the snowman ornaments that they could put a picture in.
Oh, yes, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I just cut those out and I made them, I don't,
That's awesome.
it's like a little ornament, and that's, we just put stuff on the, but, I mean, even something like that, you could, I guess, and a pack of crayons or something too. I mean, if,
Okay, so we'll come up with ideas for,
yeah,
and answers hopefully.
I'm trying to see if the wooden ones are there. The wooden ones we just left out and they got to pick, you know, whichever one they wanted, but, oh yeah, you can see this one was a reindeer. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah,
And that was one of the wooden ones and they just decorated it. any way they
right, so then we
wanted
have to get little
so-
baggies or snack bags to put
Yeah,
things
the
in,
wooden
yeah.
reindeer.
yeah.
And that's what we just put the markers and different things that you could put on, stick on it and stuff, but, and then that's what the fire department did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Santa's on that?
Santa came over from the comes over from the fire department on that.
With
That's
the
what they've always
trailer?
done in the
I
past,
didn't
yeah.
realize it. I was thinking he came in the fire truck. so
Yeah,
that's
no,
really
see, they
cool
had
that
a
he does
trailer.
that.
Oh,
And they had it all decorated, they had a tree on it, and they had, yeah.
That's really nice.
Oh, there's a better picture of it.
Oh, yeah, so Santa could stay sitting on that, or standing, and the people could
Yeah.
stand in front of him.
There's your cones, Stan. And they brought those cones, we had little ones out there, and they brought those and put them all out,
Oh,
so.
sure, because you have the exercise.
Oh, yeah, and we had those lights, I had those lights that like flicker on the houses.
Oh,
Those were
yeah.
on the church, and so we had just I had brought a bunch of stuff from the house, so. But I think it'll work out fine. It's gonna be
Do
short
they
and
ever
sweet.
do they ever do it, as a, food drive too? Like ask the people to bring a can of food? Or do
We've
we-
never had, well, I don't know if they ever had, but we can, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if or they do that or anything, but
maybe we'll think of it for next year and.
yeah, I
maybe
feel like.
next year. Let's just get through it this year.
Yeah.
Let's just do, that's a good idea. Let's make it easier.
And there was an Acton tree lighting, web page. Is there any way to connect like a web page? Because there were a lot of different people that were on the Acton tree lighting web page that were not on the, Acton rec web.
I mean, I guess
webpage. Is there any way to
whoever,
connect?
if Jenny, or the lady who did it, I don't know who ran it, if she ran it or not.
She put me on last year as
The
an
Acton tree
admin.
lighting. I mean, I guess the best thing, I mean, this is what I would recommend, is post on it and say that the tree lighting has moved to the Acton
Acton Rec, yeah,
And if
that's
you
a
follow
good
this
idea.
page, to follow, and then just close that
I can
page
do
down.
that. Okay.
And that way, because we want to get more people to raise awareness about what's going on at the rec. We also want to get people more involved. So I think consolidating everything that is done, and you create events. So you'd create an event from the page, and that's what you would do in the future from the rec, and say, oh, tree lighting event, and post all the information on
Right.
that event. But that way, all those people will hopefully go to the rec page, and they know that it's affiliated with the recreation. So in the future, people say, oh, I want to be involved with that. I want to make a donation to it. I want to do something with it. They know the rec's the one who sponsors it now. So I guess, post on and say, hey,
post on that.
Acton Rec is, doing the tree, thank you to, if she wants for, for doing this every year, and stay tuned for what's coming next on the direct page, something like that.
Alrighty.
Okay?
Cool.
So, we done?
How would I connect, if I connect would I put your husband's name on the private Facebook or the Acton Rec?
Yes, but that probably wouldn't work, huh? I could get, you know what? I could make an account when we come to that.
Okay, when you make an account, let me know and then I'll add you to it,
Okay.
okay? And I'll add you to it.
So I'll put that
when-
down as my thing too,
Get 5 minutes to
Get on-
do that.
make,
I guess 7:05.
what time is it?
7:05.
Any
my.
other questions, anyone?
No, just, I think we have our, what each of us is gonna do, or what we need to have for next meeting, and
Right?
And then if we think of, yeah, and whatever you think about, just write it down and we'll,
yep, bring it in, and
hopefully
then
the other
Jen.
two people will come
Yeah, they're
with
both,
their ideas.
they're both my sisters, so
They're both your sisters?
I will be on them.
And everyone hopefully will be there that day.
Oh, no, they will. Lawrence has been busy. She just started a new job at a law firm up in Wolfboro, and she's been working till 8 o'clock pretty much every night, but I think if I give her a heads up notice, I'm not sure, I think she just started the new job like last week, so she's been but she's been working, so if I let her know, hopefully she can get that time off.
You're pretty good at the, can you do just a mass email
Yep,
with both your sisters'
Yep.
emails on it? And put ours on it and just send us one that we have a group email that we all
yep.
have.
I'll type up some minutes that I just took down with everything that we went over, and I'll send that
Oh,
out.
you're gonna do the minutes? Yay!
I was,
Good.
I was,
That's one thing I will not do.
when I was a class officer in my college, I was the secretary for a year, and then I was president for the rest. But then I did Kiwanis, I was the district secretary treasurer, and so we did board meetings, and,
Oh, see, that's secretary and treasurer. There we go.
so I did that quite a while. So I can type those and send it that way, they get the minutes, and also we can make sure we all have each other's emails.
Okay,
Awesome.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Yay, that's great, because that's one thing that I could not do.
Did you get my email?
I think it's in the group that Jen sent me an email.
Oh, yeah, we could
She
go.
forwarded me an email, so I know I have Lori's.
Oh, yeah, mine was, yeah, because I got that too as far as the time.
Yeah, it was
well, then if that's the
someone
case, if
asking Jen about stuff, but I can just, let's see.
I just said I'll be there at 5. She forgot to add me in it until,
Yeah, Lori Clark, Jennifer, Lauren, Carol, yeah, I should have all your emails.
everyone's on it? All right, then you don't even have to do that, because we can just,
And there's someone Winchell, we don't need that Winchell one.
Well, he's a selectman, so
That's-
I
Oh, so
think
he's-
he
okay.
has to sit, somebody has to sit
So we
on the committee.
have Jen,
there's one of the selectmen is the liaison for.
Right, so
the
he-
act-
okay.
I thought Kim was.
So Lauren, Dan, Carol, Jen,
She might be, because
she's
she's
not on it.
chairperson, she might not be on this
They
committee.
don't have to, maybe
But
not this.
maybe they switched,
Yeah.
this year.
I don't think, wait, yeah, CW Lori, right? And
Yeah.
Carol's is DRAL, okay, yeah.
Oh, all right, then you don't have to do that. Perfect.
I'll still send out the minutes.
Okay.
We
That sounds
also have
great.
to join, right?
Yes,
Right.
Okay, 7:08.
Thank
thank you.